How's everybody doing? Hopefully having a pretty good day. We're gonna ruin it by finding yet another character who killed somebody and going into the sadness spiral of somebody dying. Monokuma made his announcement and everyone began to meet up, one after another. And then... the ultimate martial artist! A locked room murder mystery! Winky face!
What?
What the... Oh, I've just recently discovered the power of emoticons! Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive. I'm like 90% sure that's not how that works.
Yes, indeed.
For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body. XD! This is just plain creepy.
Well?
And how about the reverse? I have been diagnosed with infinite depression. Smiley face. I see.
Phew.
No matter how great something is, if you put in a sad face, it makes it look super negative.
Yes, indeed.
For example, do you have 100 friends? Bible thump.
What?
He's right. That does make it seem sad.
I can't wait.
Now
I can't
then,
wait.
please get on the elevator. Ooh. Bible thump. We'll see you all down there. Yasuhiro, please. What the hell was that? I don't get it.
Just the worst.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
Don't look at me!
I don't think I'm acting casual.
Don't be mean!
I mean, I didn't murder anyone.
What
Yeah,
the heck?
I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer?
What the heck?
Whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there can be no doubt one of us is the culprit. The killer. The one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know. And yet, someone killed her. Hasn't she actually killed a ton of people? Technically, Toko didn't kill anybody. Genocide Jill killed people. But... And that person is here? That person is one of us. Come on. It's time to put an end to this. I made my way into the elevator. But with each step I took, it felt like I was moving further and further away. I could feel a chilling fear running down through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. One of us is a murderer. XD. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the doors close and felt it begin its sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower. And as suddenly as always, the ride was over. The doors opened once again. Just the 6 of you? Really?
This is kind
That's so few. You must be so lonely. You say that like it's not your fault that we're all that's left. I wonder, will the class trial end with one less classmate again? Or a emoticon off the street? Will your school life come to an end completely?
Now then.
Are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened for the 4th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, and a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Alright. So we got new skills at least. Increases bullet capacity effective. Sure. I don't really think that matters that much. Allows you to lock on 2 statements at once, effective during the bullet time. But that's amazing! Okay. I'm amazed there's an emote-only mode. I'm pretty sure, like, they had no reason to not have it.
Let's begin with a basic explanation.
We know how this
We
works.
already
Okay.
know who did it.
Whoa! Deja vu!
I mean, they turned the emote-only off. Oh, snap! Oh, the banhammer! That wasn't even me.
The one who killed Sakura is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you.
Feels bad, man.
Idiot.
Cyclone. Oh, I didn't see that. That's weird. Wow, Cyclone abusing your mod powers.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah! I'd never kill someone, no way!
I don't want to hear your stupid excuses.
So, the problem is, based off of everything that's happened up until now, every person I've always spent time with is one of the people that dies. And I spent time with Hina. So obviously that means Hina has to be the killer because I spent time with her, because that's just how this game works. It kills everyone I love. Hina seems really sure one of these 3 is the killer. But she must have some reason for believing that. Hi, Lorca Kudo. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that name, but how's it going? Man, everybody's dead. Oh. It sucks.
It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
And what reason do you have for saying so?
Because you all had a motive. You hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
That's low. That's about as low as you can get.
This chat has only good people. I can't use my mod powers often. Poor Kylaris. Gotta be some reason why Hina feels so strongly.
It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
And what reason do you...
Because you hated her.
Is that it?
That doesn't make...
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
That's low. That's about as low as you can get.
I don't... Am I supposed to just do it?
One of you killed.
And what reason do you...
Because you hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't...
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
That's low. That's about as low as you can get.
Oh no, I've been feeling the despair for a long
What
time.
reason do you...
Because you hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make...
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
That's low.
Dude,
That's
shooting
about
that
as
is so
low
dumb.
as you can get. It was one of you killed.
And what reason do you...
Because you hated her.
Is that it?
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
That's low. That's about as low as you can get.
Dude, shooting this is such a pain.
One of you killed.
And what reason do you...
Because you hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
That's low.
How was that a
That's
miss?
about as low as you can get. It was one of you. One of you killed.
And what reason do you have for
Oh,
saying
it's
that?
space to slow it down.
You hated her.
Is that it?
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
No, that's wrong.
Objection! Was Trigger Happy a skill in this? Not that I know of.
Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
Yeah, and that was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of those 3 killed her.
I can't disagree with Hina. there's good reason to suspect all three of them. Then does that mean one of them did it? But yeah, no, almost all of my abilities are just for the actual bullet dance whatever thing game, the Beat Mania whatever. Okay.
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all three of them, there's no way that's not suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty.
I don't deny that she wanted to meet with her. I never went to see her.
I didn't either.
Yeah, same here. I never.
Lies.
No, that's wrong.
Most of the seats are occupied by sign and not people. Yeah, it's been like that for a while though.
When we were talking before, you dropped a small piece of paper, remember? It was white with red polka dots.
What's that got to do with anything?
Red polka dots? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
No, it's
It was a fun skill, speeds up the truth bullet speed, which is fun because I try not to lose focus. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally monopolized that entire box of candy. So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
In that case, Hero, where did you get that piece of candy?
Wrecked.
From Sakura. It's the only explanation.
well, I mean, yeah, sure I got it from her, but she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her.
Hero, please.
When did she give it to you?
The last time you saw Sakura was when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before then.
Objection, because she didn't have any until then. But what Hero said can't be right. Because Sakura could have only gotten the candy after the incident in the nurse's office. Yes, Makoto, that's what I said. And the reason I know that is... that's when Sakura got the candy.
I'm not sure about that, Hero. Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy till after she left the nurse's office. So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy.
Get
Damn
wrecked.
it. I mean, what I meant was... Oh, that's right! I did meet up with her in the rec room. You got a problem with that?
Yes.
Why the sudden hostility?
But we just talked, that's all. I didn't do anything, you gotta believe me.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
Yep, that's the #1 way to fight arguments.
More hostility.
It's not just normal hostility. You're the real culprit. I even have proof.
Really? Because is it the Upside Down magazine that nobody should have been able to actually read because you weren't allowed in that room, you little punk?
Proof? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about her shining message.
What would a shining message even be?
At the scene of the crime, she had written out Toko in her own blood, right?
So I guess Yasuhiro killed her because he wasn't allowed to look at anything in the crime scene. That's kind of a disappointment. I'm actually disappointed in him.
It was her dying message. Just like what you guys were talking about with Sayaka.
That's true. I saw it for myself.
See? See? Toko did it!
This guy's an idiot.
What are you saying? No way! I didn't do it!
Oh, Hero, you wasted a valuable spot someone else could have used. You're not even wrong. I wish Junko was there instead.
You just don't know when you're beat, do ya?
Hero, hold on. When did you see that dying message of hers?
Yeah, buddy. When did you see it? Cause you weren't allowed in, friend.
Huh? Well, when we found Ogre's body. Duh.
But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime. So it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself.
Huh. Hold on. But when Kyoko found the magazine with the dying message in it, it was on the magazine shelf.
I got it! Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it. I found it right there at the scene of the crime. after we'd started the investigation.
If that's true, then what Hiro just said doesn't really make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense.
No, there's an obvious problem with what Hiro said before.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun.
Whoops.
I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
Oh, there's definitely something wrong,
I can
but I'm
tell
not
you
100%
exactly
sure
when
what.
I found when Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the
When I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. I can tell you exactly when I found when Ogre's body was discovered.
No, that's wrong.
I don't know why. That's why the demo was good. He was the original first victim somewhere. There's a picture
When
of it. Oh, I didn't
Sakura's
know that.
body was found, that magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. That's where Kyoko found it, after we'd begun the investigation. And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then. Tell us the truth, Hiro. When did you see the message?
When he wrote it.
Hold on. You're focusing on the wrong part. Why does it matter when I saw it?
Shaking of his face intensifies.
All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us, and we know who the killer is. Toko!
I don't even know where to begin with that one. He's just trying to confuse us.
Vienna sausage? What?
Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that message in the first place?
Yeah? I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message. 100%, without a doubt, she wrote it. And this is me talking, so you know it's true.
Without a doubt, huh? No, I absolutely do doubt it. There's no way Sakura wrote that message. I'm not 100% sure why, but I know there's no way she wrote that message.
Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Can't hear you, can't hear you. Show me the proof.
This should prove it.
How do you know when you're supposed to click for that thing?
I'm completely unconvinced that Sakura wrote that dying message.
So when it goes into that time, I actually just hit a button that gives me epic time that just makes me able to click whenever, to be completely honest. I'm not good enough to understand, because it's supposed to be the tempo of the song, but it never actually is, and it drives me crazy. Nailed it, best argument, Hero. The occult is, yeah, obviously the best argument is the occult is stupid. So, there you go.
Because if you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger. But
There was no blood on her hands.
both of her hands were completely free of blood.
Yep, fever time, that's what it's called. I use fever time.
Say what?
Then, who did write it?
Hiro could very well have written it himself. That would explain how he knew about the message in the first place.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Well, he gave up easy.
Ah! He admits it!
I figured as much.
But why would you write something like that?
Because I killed her!
There's a problem here. I don't trust him. You're admitting to killing her?
Please, just let me explain what happened. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said.
You just did exactly as the note asked? What a fool.
And when I got there...
Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple other people to meet as well.
Oh, okay. Ultimate Ass has very silent for some reason.
Would you like a piece of candy? It might help give you some energy.
Oh, okay. Sure. Thanks.
And that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence. Suddenly, I heard her mutter something.
This is it. I'm going to end it today. I'm going to end everything.
As soon as I heard that, I just knew. I knew she was gonna try and kill me.
No, you idiot. She was gonna fight.
She was gonna kill me and make her escape. So of course I freaked out, and then... I saw my only chance. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head. I hit her from behind, before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that. Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed.
There's a couple problems there. So what you guys don't know, because you missed it last time, there were 2 broken bottles, and he only talks about one, and she was also poisoned.
So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table, and I ran away.
I can't believe you! You're the worst! I hope you die!
See, I'm not sure she's off base with that comment, because it's not like she's wrong. You really shouldn't frame somebody else for murder.
Well, that's what happened. Go ahead. Roast me, boil me, do whatever you want.
You're not gonna get off that easy. It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura. We're ready to vote now, right? We know who did it.
Except it's not.
No, I think there's more to Hiro's story.
Yeah, he does have survival instincts.
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain. And until we figure that part out, we can't consider the case closed.
Okay, right? It's funny because I know it, but Makoto can't figure out crap. So what is it that doesn't make sense? Why the magazine was hidden, why he picked Toko, why he didn't use Sakura's finger. Because he's stupid, and because he's stupid.
I got it!
But it's because the magazine was
That's
originally in
true.
front of him.
Everything you just said. It doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it? By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf.
We know we need someone because our main character has a few brain cells missing. You're not wrong. Which makes, again, me question why main character is still alive. What? Hero's not helpful? No, that's not possible.
Why would you take the time to write that message? Then stick it somewhere we might not find it.
Oh, well, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Really?
He's lying! He's gotta be lying!
I don't see any reason he would lie now, after already confessing to the crime.
I feel like literally all 3 of them murdered her together without realizing it.
Then, he's not lying?
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf. In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
I don't think there's any question about that.
But then, who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine, they must not have liked what was written on it.
I wonder who that could be. Obviously, it's Byakuya.
I got it! It had to be Toko, right? Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
Is he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room? Why would I have... Wait! But more important, that doesn't even matter! We already know who did it, right?
That's right. I killed her.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
I don't doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle. But that's not where this case ends.
Took on the ultimate asset, but smart except for the shit he did earlier. Are you talking about Byakuya? Yeah, I don't know why he did what he did to Chihiro. I'm actually kind of still bitter about that.
What do you mean?
What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
You can't be serious. That's just... I don't believe it.
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time. If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not Sakura's killer.
So, what do you want me to do?
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
I don't really see why, but okay.
We haven't reached the end of the case yet. Hiro isn't the real killer. And I have to prove that. So am I going to be talking about how there's 2 bottles instead of 1?
I didn't want to, but I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once.
That's the
After
problem.
the first swing, the bottle shattered, and she went limp.
See? Isn't it obvious? Hiro really is the killer.
Which one is it? That I thought it was the weight. I know, but which one is
I didn't
that?
want to, but I did it.
Is it Kyoko's examination
Grab
study?
him on a Monokuma and I hit Ogre from behind.
You hit her from... And you only hit her...
Yeah, just once.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought I was looking for something that was like the weight, but I forgot that it wasn't called that as the
If
clue.
Sakura died from Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
Oh, right. We're talking about that she had 2 head wounds first, not the fact that there were 2 broken bottles.
Huh? 2?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
Still think she's the ultimate assassin.
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
Hold on. How can you know that just from some cuts on her head? She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves. There's something very suspicious about those bottles. Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used. Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf, right? And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chess piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
But how can you know for sure there were 6 bottles?
That's easy.
Exactly, it's the queen chess piece that's missing.
If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
Do I have to say it? Correlation between it starting to come clear. Connection must be chess pieces. Hangman's Gambit. Okay, am I gonna type the word chess? Yes, I am. I need the word P, letter P. Right? Am I supposed to be typing chess piece? Yes, I am. Where's the letter E?
Now I understand.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. My friends who are a big fan of this
The
game.
chess pieces.
My friends who are a big fan of this game were not a huge fan of the anime, but I'm gonna watch it anyways as soon as I finish with one, because they played all of them and they said that's the right time to go ahead and watch it. It was just like, just my luck to be stuck with an idiot protagonist. Just my luck to be stuck with an idiot protagonist. Right, Makoto. I mean, she does kind of make me do everything. It's weird. She guides everybody, but she makes me say it every single time, and I don't know why.
Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
And the piece that was inside the broken bottle we found was...
Yeah, it is because I'm the protagonist. They changed Kyoko's name, though, sadly. Weird. I don't know why they do that.
the knight, if I remember.
So, what's that matter?
I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? Then let me explain. In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn.
They changed voice actors for the anime? That seems kind of stupid. Although the anime did come way, way, way later, because it's called, like, Danganronpa 3E or something stupid. I might have that... Ow. I might have that mixed up with the game. I know one of them has... One of them's called 3 and one of them's called, like, V3 or 3E or something silly like that. And you're 100% correct. If she didn't make me solve it, it would literally be watch Kyoko solve puzzles for several hours. Although, that's kind of what it is anyways.
What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4. And on the ground was the knight.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while one apparently went missing.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's not what I mean.
Toko, please.
So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case.
Oh, so there's Danganronpa the animation, then Danganronpa V3 show. Interesting. I'll have to ask my friend more about that.
That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
No. It's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
I got it!
Had to be broken.
The bottle must have been broken.
I've not seen anything from that. I'm watching Danganronpa the animation. Okay, good to know.
What makes you so sure?
Because there was evidence at the scene that supports it.
Huh?
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
Sorry, my hands are
What is
freezing.
this evidence?
It wasn't just a single, and the evidence that proves it is the weight.
I got it! Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles. And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is... there was actually more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
Dun dun dun!
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime. But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces.
I 100% understand. I'm probably going to be doing the second game, not immediately after this one, because I'm going to take a break for a little bit to try some other stuff, but I'm definitely excited to play the second and the third game.
Which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
Oh, and I'm definitely going to play the other one. So they're assuming all the chess pieces weigh the same, which they have no reason to think. Except they do. They don't show you this, but earlier they weighed 2 bottles. They weighed multiple bottles against each other, and they all weighed identical. So it wasn't just them being like... No. It wasn't just them being like, let's do this, let's go, we got this. It was actually them testing it.
But why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
There can be no doubt that the second missing Monokuma bottle was involved in this case. Cyclone.
I got it! The bottle that was removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
From there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered that second blow. Wouldn't you agree, Toko?
What is that face?
And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Wait! I admit, maybe there was a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
I love how Hiro goes from "I killed her" to "You did it. I know it."
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her.
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy
You
I
want-
am.
You want Genocide Joe back?
Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her. I saw Toko go into the rec room.
You did.
Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room. I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why. But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
And you just now decided to share that with us?
After the shock of thinking I'd killed someone, I forgot all about it.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
Takuya, please. Why are you so rude?
So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
You don't know what you're talking about. I never went in the rec room.
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but maybe she found somewhere to hide.
Which also explains how the door could have gotten locked from the inside.
Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous. Whoa, why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
No, it's not ridiculous at all. There's definitely proof that shows Toko was hiding in the rec room. Are you serious? How are they adding new things halfway through the game? Actually, almost at the end of the game, to be fair. So far, you've probably been pressing the left mouse button during your final strike without a second thought. But from now on, you're going to have to pay a little extra attention to your finishing blow. Thanks, game. Now I'll have to choose the proper truth bullet to use. Of course! Of course I do! Simply press the key or use the mouse wheel. Typo. Also, like the debate, if your logic difficulty is set to kind, you'll have fewer bullets to choose from. For educational purpose, we're gonna pretend like you're set to mean regardless. Just this once, okay? Doesn't matter, I'm set to mean anyways. Oh, by the way, you're about halfway through the game. How am I halfway through? There's 6 people left. After this, there's 5. Well then, good luck and have fun.
It's a lie! I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No, no, no! That's enough! I admit nothing. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie! That's enough! It's a lie! I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No, no, no! That's enough!
So I was trying to do...
I curse you.
Okay, now I gotta actually pick.
That's enough!
This should prove it.
Thanks, narrator.
Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker?
I do get what you're saying. I 100% agree. The game making you aware halfway through is kind of like a weird kind of spoiler, but not. At the same time, it makes me wonder, like, clearly there's a lot more than just going to be a couple more murders, because if we're down to 5 people after this, only one more murder can occur before it's literally impossible.
They must have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall without thinking. Does this handprint look familiar, Toko?
No, it doesn't. Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear everything up, right?
I love the look on her face.
Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
Okay, it's my handprint.
Dang, she just straight up admitted it.
Did I just... So if Toko dies, I still lose because I did hang out with her for one single time before this exact event happened.
Then you killed Sakura! No, I swear, there's no way!
Out with it.
I probably did kill her.
There's no way! I probably did.
Straight up again.
Wait, what do you mean
Oh,
probably?
she doesn't remember.
Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura?
She was Jill at the time.
Talk. Now.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on.
It better not be
So
Hina.
I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
If it's Hina, I'm gonna be so sad.
Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her?
Yes, and I saw you write my name. I saw you forge her dying message.
Well, that's awkward.
That's awkward.
So after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura? After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around, there was Sakura covered in blood and staring right at me. When I saw all that blood, I fainted.
That's what I thought.
Right there in front of the magazines. I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll have to ask her.
You got your wish, Cyclone. Her, you mean...
Guess it's back!
It was your fault after all.
My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights.
Excuse me, Master's fault?
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories, so I can't really say what was going on.
Back again.
But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to see... splatter everywhere! I was not prepared for that. And, well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you, and you're terrible! No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for some woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master!
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it.
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack, no problem!
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
Hey, come on. That's, you know. But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre. So that's good.
So that's good. Keep talking like that, Hina's
Well
gonna...
then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
No, because we're still not done, because there was poison. Huh, I thought you would have for sure had some words for Hero in that one.
What's wrong? Come on, everyone. We're ready to vote, right?
Oh my
Let's
god!
do
It is Hina!
No, not quite yet.
this. Huh? Not yet? Why not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed.
Odd? Huh?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's, but that still wasn't the end of it.
It wasn't?
Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
Your wish is my command, darling.
What? It's not over yet, is it? The one who killed Sakura is... It's Hina. Dude, I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
You were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
No, you didn't. Because she died on the stupid... I'm so mad.
I was just... And all of a sudden, I remember waking up...
You were taken by surprise. So you smashed her head?
You got it!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
No, that's wrong.
Oh my god.
We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Cyclone Blitz.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
The evidence that proves it was an attacking from the magazine shelf would be the blood, right?
I got it! Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The blood stained by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors.
That's a fair point.
There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
But...
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained. Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
Oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door?
Nope.
And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
No, I don't think that's possible.
The reason is because we saw the locker open.
I got it! Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't know. What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
I'm so disappointed right now. Could we really be missing something so important? If there's another possible explanation, maybe it's... I'm just so disappointed right now. Yellow powder, maybe?
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
Is that what I'm supposed to
So you're
object to?
dead set on blaming me, huh?
Okay, it's that what I'm supposed to object to with the yellow powder.
What was it? If it wasn't from Jen, what was it?
There's no other. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
Okay, so that's not the bullet.
Shoot!
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
What? Dude, I'm so lost.
What was it? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head. So you're dead set on blaming me, huh?
Sakura's true cause of death. Okay, but I can't
was it that
select
killed
anything I
Ogre?
want to pick.
If it wasn't from Genocide Jill, then what was it?
There's no other possible. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than.
No, that's wrong.
What? Okay. I was doing so
According
well.
to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood. I think we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
It was Hina.
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
What does Hina know? Hina knows that she was poisoned because she poisoned her.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
Shut up. No one likes you.
You're making me go all weak in the knees! She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
Of course, if you don't mind.
Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
Okay, genocide. You're not wrong.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Wow, that's a lot of sass there, bud.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals.
Excuse you.
And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
An A.
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C.
Yep.
In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
Chemical X.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
The bottle of poison Bikuya showed us. I'm sure I know where you got it. It was actually Section A.
The poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Huh? You just said that Section A was for supplements.
That is a very
or
poor way of
whatever.
organizing things.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean, this.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Bikuya put the bottle of poison to his lips and
Master!
he's gonna drink it all because it's actually the protein, isn't it? We were so shocked at what we were all seeing
All we could do is stand there and watch. But as if it was the most natural thing in the world, Byakuya was as calm as ever.
Ugh, that tastes awful.
Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
I'm sorry, that was good.
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Hold up, how did Makoto not realize this? I understand Kyoko because she was stuck in the room the entire time.
Oh, sure. Do whatever you like.
Kyoko took the bottle from Byakuya and scraped out a bit of the contents with one finger. She touched her finger to her tongue.
It's protein powder.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
The bottled poison was actually filled up with protein powder. Which would mean that, conversely, the poison must have been in... Could it be? Yes, Makoto, it definitely can be. What am I supposed to be spelling here? I guess protein drink. Give me the letter R, please. T. Oh, did I not click N? I.
Now I understand. The poison must have been poured into the protein can.
Do we really need that game to figure that out? Because I thought that was pretty obvious.
If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is
No.
true, right?
Now I understand. Everything is clear.
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Something at the scene was the protein bottle.
I got it! You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
The footprints?
I got it! The footprints left behind in front of the shelf.
We're killing it here, guys.
That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
It was me.
Can I flip my desk now? Every time. Every time.
The footprints. They're mine.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Then, Ogre's killer was...
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
Maybe she didn't do the swap though. Maybe she didn't know it was poison. I'm hoping so I can feel a little bit better, but does that technically still make her the killer? Sneakers, huh? The only people who wore sneakers were... Do I wear sneakers?
I got it!
I guess I wear sneakers.
Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours? No! Okay then, let me see your shoes and I'll confirm the size myself.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Just Monica.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Why?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
To disappoint me.
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it all at once.
I'm just...
And then
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
I didn't see this coming.
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism, but there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Oh yeah, how was the door locked?
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
well, that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
Did Sakura kill herself and now Hina's trying to take the blame so everybody dies? I'm so confused.
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
What's going on? I don't even know what this is anymore.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
What's going on?
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Well, hold up. That doesn't explain the yellow. I guess that was the one thing I was wondering about, was why does Sakura have yellow on her shoes?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Did Sakura try to get Hina to kill her by swapping the poison and the protein herself to try and get Hina to escape?
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison.
Lies.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them.
Except they were different bottles.
Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room.
Except there was a broken bottle on the ground, not just spilt.
But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
But if that's true, isn't that a little strange?
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
How long? Until we figure it out. Until I uncover the full truth of this case. Does he really mean until Kyoko uncovers the full truth of this case? So it's gonna be source of the powder.
First I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Kyokari.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section A. And that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to it.
But I didn't mean to do
that's
that.
Enough. How much longer must we
So
tolerate
what am I
this?
supposed to object to? That she dropped it? Something strange Hina told us definitely contradicts.
First I went to that's when I grabbed the poison.
So I know you
And
grabbed
you
it.
spilled some of the powder
This
on
is
the
the problem.
ground in
I
front
want to
of the
say
shelf.
spilled the powder's wrong.
When I grabbed the
Okay, and
I moved from Section C to Section A, and that's where I switched the powders.
Oh
Once I
no,
was done, I
it's
put the
Section C
bottle
to
filled-
Section A
then
and
I
then
put
footprints in the
bottle
powder.
That's all there is.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate?
Got it.
First I went to that's when I grabbed the poison, and you spilled some of the powder. Yeah.
okay,
And I moved from Section C.
I disagree with how they have me do this counter. I would have rather said source of the and then triggered on the spilled rather
you
than
said
broke.
you went to get the poison from Section C. And that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from Section C to Section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section C to Section A. That contradicts what you just said.
What?
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
I was just nervous, so I didn't notice I'd leave a footprint.
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Well...
You lied to us. Plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to Section A. So you never went to Section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved Section A.
Well... You see...
What the hell? What's going on here?
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account. Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
Oh, hey.
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Why couldn't you have given me this evidence at the start, buddy boy?
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
I did?
What?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
What's going on?
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this.
Huh? A piece of glass?
It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle. And the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder.
What is going on?
I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But, what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then, Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Why am I explaining it? I don't know what's going on.
Huh? Me?
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
What? It's the rec room window.
I got it!
Which is but I don't know how.
It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
What's going on?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
You're right, it must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
I don't know.
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
Where was the bottle of the poison where it should have been when I broke the rec room window? It should have been in the shelf.
I got it! The bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina? And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there.
Which we knew because it was on top of the glass, but I already knew that.
That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked, but how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We
How did you
already
miss
know
that?
she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
Dude, I'm so confused. Okay, raise your hand in chat if you're confused, cause it's gotta be not just me. Please tell me it's not just me.
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Huh?
Okay.
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here. Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Kikuya is hella tilted. I mean,
Oh,
I can
come
understand
on.
how
How
so.
can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
Oh! He's mad because he just doesn't know. Because Kyoko's better than him. She didn't do anything, lol. The reason she can say that is because there's evidence. There's proof someone brought the protein pan after it was opened. Because the glass was underneath it. Do I really have to say that? Are you serious?
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to be. It was in there before the rec room was up.
No, that's wrong.
Ultimate verbal annihilator.
You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can.
Dun dun dun.
We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it...
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it?
No, because I still have no idea what's going on.
As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
If that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is...
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already. Sorry. Please, tell us.
Holy crap! He said please!
Before we get to that, we need to clarify one other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
I think it's Sakura because she's got yellow powder on her foot.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
Kyoko runs this town. Not even wrong.
What do you think, Makoto?
The one who got the poison from the chem lab and brought it to the rec room had to have been Sakura.
I got it! I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself? What are you talking about? There's no way!
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying! Stop lying! Why? Why would you lie like that?
No, it's not a lie. Sakura definitely went to Section C. I have to get Hina to admit that. Is it another one of those stupid bullet games? Yep.
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! Just let it end already! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! Just let it end already! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! I'm telling you, I did it! I hate you! Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison? You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! Just let it end already! Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
This should prove it.
Oh, there we go. Apparently yellow powder referred to yellow powder on shoe, which was not clear.
Did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it? So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Over's foot?
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura. And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep.
Is that sulfur? Probably not. Yeah, it's obviously not sulfur, otherwise everybody would be complaining about the smell.
Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
No! It was me! The poison! Because I killed her!
No, you didn't kill her.
The one that killed Sakura, the connection between Sakura and the poison and the unsolved mystery of the locked room. There's only one way to explain it.
Here's my answer. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What? The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
But why?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it. All so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room.
Because it was her.
I got it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina? You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you? When we found her body, You stayed right there near the door. Because you already knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were.
I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room.
You said you were going to go get everyone else. But your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it? Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
When you were done, you gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room...
I got everyone. Huh? Ogre?
Oh, so she's dead, huh?
Sakura's been killed. I see.
While everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground. Honestly, I should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body. The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right? The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
But why?
No! No! I killed her! I did it!
That's enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is! Actually, no. You're right. We have to end this properly.
Oh, come on! Why do I even have to do this? Oh, Taco. It's her hiding, right? Oh, I have that backwards. That's why that one's a clean hand. So they switched the bottle of the poison. Oh.
The killer is you!
Nobody, technically. I'll let this play
case
through.
began when
I'll
Sakura
be right
asked
back.
a number of people to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others, Toko. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot. And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight. Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro. When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked. Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name. Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her.
Oops.
But of
Wow,
course,
we're barely
Toko
through
had
this
witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear,
Can I drop frames or something?
she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others.
Comcast!
But in her rush, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura. And she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened. Knew that she had committed suicide. And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground. And while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves, in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went to all that effort was you, Hina.
But why? I don't get it.
That's the full truth of the case.
But I still don't get why.
Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't that right?
That's what happened? But, Makoto, how did you manage to... How were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern?
Oh, wrecked.
Huh? Oh, well, I mean...
You still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what makes us so complicated. That's what you don't understand. And that's why you couldn't solve this case.
Holy savage Kyoko.
See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in the end.
Should be all mostly good. There was only one part where I choked pretty hard. It's not an S rank. I'm a failure. I'm not even sure if you can get S rank in this game.
Okay. I think we can all agree you made your point. Did you guys forget already? You still haven't voted yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What do we vote for Sakura?
You seriously forgot?
Kyoko Savage, best girl. Not even gonna disagree with you. Well, kinda gonna disagree with you. Was this all just an exercise so Kyoko could make Byakuya look dumb? I wouldn't be mad if it was.
I can feel my energy draining out of me.
I still think Junko best girl, but you guys didn't get to see her because she died right away.
Well, whatever. You don't really have a choice anyway. You just gotta do it. Maybe you don't want to, but please grab your lever and cast your vote. So, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Is this a joke, Monokuma? I was gonna say, isn't she already grayed out? I'm so confused what's gonna happen now, though. Is there no execution?
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
My entire existence!
Okay, we're done here.
What did you say?
So, that's the whole truth, huh? I see. But there's still one thing I don't understand.
Come on.
Hina, why did you try to cover up what happened? If the truth hadn't come to life, you would have died along with the rest of us.
What are you thinking?
And yet you... Why did you do that?
Don't be mean.
Yeah, we almost died there. Even amount of people ties are possible. That's a good point.
What is this?
Because that's exactly what I wanted. What? I mean, the reason Sakura died is because all of you pushed her into her corner. You all killed her. So that's why
You should have been the one to die.
I couldn't let her be the only one that died.
What?
You don't mean you were gonna take us all with you? We have to atone for our sins. Because everyone, even me, we all killed her. We have to pay for our crimes.
What?
For serious? That's...
What is this?
You still don't understand? Then let me explain. Do you realize how much despair Sakura was carrying with her when she died? Look at this. Such brutality has made me desperate. So instead of waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand. That's... I found it on the ground in front of the rec room. It's Sakura's suicide note. Suicide note. Thinking back, I should have seen it coming. It was right after Genocide Jack had attacked me. Sakura got mad and stormed off into the nurse's office. I ran out after her and... Sakura, calm down. You don't have to worry about me. I'm fine. I can't calm down. I don't care if I suffer for this. It's my fault after all. But now you're suffering because of me.
No forgiveness!
You tried to protect me, but because of me,
I can't forgive
my
this.
closest friend got hurt.
Sakura!
Because of me, my friends are all going to kill each other. This is all my responsibility.
Sakura thought she was being responsible. She thought everything was her fault. Which is why she wanted to find some way to get everyone to forgive her. So she asked to meet with them. You asked to meet with those three? You can't! Don't you see how dangerous that is?
Don't worry. I just want to talk to them.
But
Talk about what? Right? This feels really, really bad. I feel terrible right now. Listen, don't do it if they all gang up on you at once. Even you.
Hina.
Please, don't think of things like that. They're not my enemy.
They're friends.
Feels real bad, man. Sakura. She clearly believed. She completely believed in all of us. If you just talked to her, you would have understood. She was a friend to us all. And yet...
why?
And yet... You trampled all over her feelings. And then you did the unthinkable. No. That was just a misunderstanding.
What are you saying?
Don't stand there and call it a misunderstanding. She believed in you. And you wouldn't even listen to what she had to say. Without asking a single question, you tried to kill her.
I won't forgive you.
Do you have any idea how desperate she was? Seeing you act like that? That's what her suicide note means. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand.
Why?
That's how far you've pushed her.
Huh?
Sakura, what happened to you?
Hina.
You game.
Wait here. I'll help you out.
Hina.
Huh?
I'm so glad that I got to meet you.
What's wrong, Sakura? Why are you talking like that?
I have a favor to ask.
Huh?
A favor?
Some protein.
Could I ask you too?
Yeah, you got it. Just hang on. I'll be right back. That was the last conversation I had with her. I went to the chem lab to get the protein she'd asked for. When I got there, I saw the powder. And that's when I realized I saw that someone had taken something from the poison shelf. Sakura. So I ran back to the rec room as fast as I could. But by the time I got there, it was already too late. Hey, Hannah. Hey, Frisky Hurdle.
Please.
Sakura, let me in. Please, open the door.
Why? Why?
Why did she have to die? She had weaknesses, just like any other person. If she got cut, she bled. If someone hurt her, she felt it. That's weakness. That's normal. And yet,
Why?
you all blamed her. I tried to protect her, and I suffered for it. And that just added to the weight she had to carry. And I didn't even realize it. I feel so terrible right now. Oh my gosh. Hina. We killed her. All of us. We pushed her into a corner and we murdered her.
Why?
People like us shouldn't be allowed to live. And that's why you tried to lead us astray. You did your best to make us arrive at the wrong conclusion during the class trial. Sakura died hating all of us. I wanted to free her of her regrets. But even that got found out. In the end, I wasn't able to do anything for her. I could never face her after this.
Hey, hey!
I'm sorry to interrupt right when you're about to deliver the final tearjerker, but
Hey!
it's just taking so long. I'm about to fall asleep over here. I mean, do you really have any idea what Sakura was thinking when she died?
What is this?
What did you say? Everything you said is nothing but your own interpretation, right? Your own opinion on what her suicide note meant.
What are you saying?
Of course I know what she was thinking. 'Cause her and me...
In other words,
Well, what I'm trying to say is...
yes, indeed.
Don't you think the entire foundation is shaky? What if it was really like this?
What the heck?
What is that?
Of course.
Isn't it obvious?
Yep.
A suicide note. Sakura's suicide note. What? But Hina already...
Too bad.
Oh, I wrote that one. It was all me, baby.
It's true.
This is the one that Sakura addressed to Hina and put it in her room.
Huh?
What? Then you lied to me?
Unbelievable.
Oh, no. Don't say lie. It makes it sound so dirty. I just thought I'd liven things up a bit.
Well now.
I can't help if you took my little joke at face value. It didn't even have Sakura's signature on it. You filthy little... I'm not filthy. I didn't do anything. Did I falsify evidence? Did I affect the outcome of the class trial? The case played out between you and you alone. You were the ones jerking each other around.
Phew.
Heck, even if the will had factored in, it still would have been between you guys. So what's the problem? This is all part of the production process. Okay, and scene. Cut!
And?
So then, what did she write in her real suicide note?
What are you gonna do?
I'm glad you asked. For your benefit, I shall read it using my melodic, angelic, harmonic narrator voice.
Hey!
But, you know, haven't you ever been curious about the whole suicide note thing? Who came up with the idea of leaving a note when you kill yourself in the first place?
But hold on.
And isn't it just so unfortunate? Killing yourself is just so final, you know. You can never hear the rest of their story. The truth is lost in darkness. Gives me the willies.
Enough already.
Could you get on with it, please? I really hope he actually reads it, because I'm not sure if I can read a whole note in his voice.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Jeez. Talk about a buzzkill. All right, here we go. Ahem. I'm just going to read it in my normal voice, otherwise I'm going to die. My friend Hina, there's something I have to tell you. I hate to do it like this, but you need to know. This is my final wish.
As you know, I've been giving
Thank
information
God.
to the one who's imprisoned you here.
Oh, come on! Can't you just read this for me? It was our first night at the strange school that the mastermind came to see me.
You see, the mastermind took control of my family's dojo and demanded I become their tool.
You might not see the importance of a dojo, but my family has watched over it for 300 years.
I couldn't let it be destroyed under my watch, so even if it meant my own life, I had to protect it. That's how I saw things.
However, that was my greatest weakness. And because of that, I made the mistake of giving in to the mastermind.
And what the mastermind wanted from me was nothing less than murder.
They were probably worried that until the first murder had happened, nothing would move forward. But what neither of the mastermind nor I expected was the incident involving Sayaka. At that point, the plan changed. The mastermind told me to hold off, to wait until we reached another stalemate.
However, as I lived here with all of you, as I lived here with Hina, my resolve began to weaken.
Watching everyone fight with such despair, trying to desperately to stay alive, I saw the weakness in my own heart, the mistake of succumbing to the mastermind. And more than anything,
I cannot betray those who would call me their friend.
Feels real bad, man.
that's how I came to feel.
So that's why Sakura...
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Of course! Because of that, I decided to reveal her secret, which made everyone else hate her. Her decision to stay true to you all led directly to all of you hating her for it. Ironic, isn't it? Or maybe oxymoronic. Or maybe just moronic.
Of course, I understand if you all hate me. All of this is because of my own weakness.
I'm perfectly willing to accept whatever attack you may want to make on me.
So this is my atonement for betraying you. That's what I had in mind.
But unfortunately, that's not enough. This won't end with me just accepting your hatred.
My own situation has started having an effect on more people than just me, which is exactly what the Mastermind wanted when they revealed my betrayal.
My betrayal brought suspicion, disharmony. The Mastermind knew eventually it would escalate into someone murdering someone else.
Of course, I'm still responsible for that as well.
I have an obligation to get this situation under control. And to fill that obligation, I've decided to do as the Mastermind commanded. I will do as I was told and commit murder.
But I've decided the one I'm going to kill is myself.
If the Mastermind demands that I kill someone, then that someone will be me. Then my dojo will be safe, and above all else, none of you will have to kill anyone. When I die, the source of conflict among you all dies with me. For that, I'm willing to give up my life.
If it can save you, then sacrificing my own life could have no greater meaning. Whatever you think of me, please know that you are all my most treasured friends.
I've never had people like you in my life.
Huh?
Then Sakura didn't feel cornered. She didn't die hating us.
No way!
She wanted to stop us from fighting? To protect us?
Correct.
She didn't end her own life because she was weak. Quite the opposite, in fact. She was strong. Too strong. That's why she killed herself. She chose death for herself in order to protect the rest of us. To sacrifice so much. No normal person could do that.
However,
It was only her limitless strength that made it possible.
Finally, Hina, I want to apologize to you especially.
The reason I didn't tell you any of this is because I knew you would try to stop me. I'm really, truly sorry. But please, don't be sad. If I can thwart the Mastermind's plan, if I can keep you from killing each other, That's enough for me. This is the path I have chosen. This is the only way I have left to distinguish myself. And you can use this note to bring the class trial to a quick end. I'm so sorry to ask you to do something so unpleasant, but I have to leave the rest to you. Please, talk to Byakuya, Toko, and Hiro on my behalf. I can't tell anyone about my plan while I'm alive, but I wanted you to understand why I'm doing this. In the end, though, I hope to show myself through actions and not words. Hopefully then they'll see.
I never saw you as my enemy. You were only ever my friend, who I wanted to help as much as possible. Hina, whatever it takes, survive. Survive along with everyone else. No matter what, just survive.
But
This is... I didn't understand how she felt. Not at all. I thought we were close and still.
What are you gonna do?
But in the end, all her meddling was like, totally pointless.
Uh-oh.
She died so you guys wouldn't try to kill each other, but you almost ended up doing it anyway. Thanks to you, her death had no purpose at all. In fact, it was because of her stupid meddling that the rest of you nearly bit the big one. Right? Monokoma's such a piece of trash.
Too bad.
She deserves all the blame. Everyone blame her. Go ahead. She deserves it. Now then, the next victim has been decided. What do you mean, next victim? Nobody here blames anyone.
Huh?
First of all, you're in the wrong for tricking Hina with that fake suicide note. And plus, Sakura's death wasn't a waste.
Say what?
Because she made us remember. We're not enemies that hate each other. We're friends who need to work together.
You know?
Damn straight. This is all because of our misplaced hatred.
Well,
I don't blame her. I can't blame her. And nobody can blame Hina either.
Ooh-hoo.
Whether or not there was a spy never really mattered. Because the one we need to destroy is you. Nobody else.
What? What do you
What?
want?
What the heck? That's not how this is supposed to go.
How strange.
But anyway, are you sure about that? This killing game is a competition between all of you, remember?
Hey!
Your enemy is each other.
He's absolutely right about that.
Phew.
Ah, lovely Byakuya. You understand, don't you?
This is a life or death elimination match. The only way to survive is to win. There can be no doubt that those are the rules of the game. Which is why I am bowing out of the game.
What? What? And we'll find out why next episode. It's been an absolute blast, guys. I didn't expect so much of what happened today.